Hello everyone, this is Vio-là. As we all know, in recent years, the AI and other technological arms race among nations has been very intense. I currently living in Shenzhen, China. Shenzhen, as a futuristic city at the forefront of technological development, actually gives us more opportunities to engage with these technologies in our daily lives. Like the drone delivery service that you come and experience, or smart driving, autonomous driving, or robot dogs. So what do these developments in AI and technology mean for us ordinary people? What impacts it will bring to our daily life? Today, let's talk about these topics. I know many people have a sense of fear or anxiety about AI development. It is actually the fear of the unknown, as this kind of development always brings transformation of our familiar lifestyle that you've been living for decades or even centuries. But this phenomenon has been happening again and again in every era. Just like the rise of TV series and soap opera replaced film production, and film production industry slowly declined, or ready-to-wear clothes and mass-produced shoes replaced handmade products. This is a very common phenomenon. In the beginning, I'd like to talk about what makes China in a relatively leading position in the field of AI. China was shattered and rebuilt as a country. Indeed, it made a direct leap from a feudal system to a modern social structure, so it doesn't have the historical problem in between. China's manufacturing industry, as you all know, is booming. With such a developed manufacturing sector, it has a necessity for technology and AI. Our factories have all kinds of machines. For operational management, it needs technological progress to improve efficiency or replace production line workers to reduce human errors or increase safetiness, or reduce labor costs. Spontaneously, it has this kind of essential need. For some other countries, they do not have the necessity of technological or AI development to improve residents' standard of living or to support a specific and crucial industry because of their different social structures. For these reasons, I think China is a good sample to see what impact AI development will really have on ordinary people's lives. If this AI development is an inevitable trend, then what changes will everyone face in the future? What are its pros and cons? Before we discuss this topic, I must declare that I'm not a big fan of digital or excessive technology and its impacts, although I've experimented the AI translation in this video, since I believe one should experience everything oneself in first-hand, right? For instance, you have AI do things for you, like going to a restaurant and ordering food in your place. It can use a drone, and you just order on your phone and it will fly to your door. You just wait at home and collect the food. Or, like our driverless cars, you don't even need to learn to drive. Or, just learn a little bit of driving theory and traffic regulations. The car will drive for you or park for you. These so-called trivial matters, it takes them on for you. But in that case, it's like your entire process of making mistakes, your learning process, or the process of living by yourself just disappears. It's like you have an assistant and you hand over everything in your life for it to do, but the interesting things are handed over to them at the same time. Technological development has a very important characteristic, which is quantification. So what does this quantification mean? This concept is very popular in China right now. Wherever you go, people like to make the conversation, "Do you know about quantification?" Well, quantification is when you digitize abstract concepts or things that are hard to generalize. For example, there are 1,000 people, and of these 1,000 people, you want to know which ones are suitable to be accountants. When you quantify it, there might be different indexes, like which of them are better at maths, which ones have had previous accounting work experience. After you've set these criteria, it enables you to give each person a score. The score is an expression for quantification. By comparing the scores, it is more visible and clearer to see who scored higher, and they are supposed to be more suitable for the job. But this kind of judgment can easily overlook each person's unique traits. This is the thing I really don't like. Human beings have their complexity. It's not like you can simply use a few numbers, or even just one number, to summarize the whole life of a person, from birth to the age of 30. Human beings can't be quantified so simply like that. If you're talented in one area, how can this talent be quantified into visible numbers? Moreover, China is a country with strong collectivism, as you know, and it emphasizes quantification within the collective. Therefore, individual strengths or talents will easily be suppressed. While quantifying, it tends to exclude the points that are hard to be quantified, summarized, or simplified. On the other hand, I believe this kind of technological development, to a certain extent, suppresses emotional communication among people, like the real little interaction in person. For example, when you take a self-driving car, unlike previously, you'd just get an Uber. You could chat with the driver, saying things like, "How's the weather today?" or "What's the difference between being an Uber driver and your previous job?" You simultaneously learn about the circumstances of many different kinds of people in this world by talking to them. Whilst in the present, there's no driver in the car. You take a car and you might be playing on your phone, watching shorts. By the way, mobile phone is also a sample of modern technological development, but this reduces the chance of face-to-face interaction to a large extent. For children in this generation, many Chinese parents also require them not to use electronic devices for more than a certain amount of time each day, considering they are not yet mental mature and are at the stage of learning social norms and values. If they are exposed to too many electronic products and digital technology at this stage, they will have difficulties socializing or interacting with people when they grow up. We all know that AI development has so many negative impacts. However, it has lots of positive aspects either. Compared to other countries, AI and other digital technologies are most helpful to China. Why do I say that? Let's talk about what kind of benefits AI has brought to China. First of all, AI lowered our cost of knowledge acquirement. We can only acquire knowledge from schools or books in previous time. In fact, China still has many remote mountainous areas or economically underdeveloped regions where there might be only one primary school or library within a radius of hundreds of kilometers. For the people who's living in those areas, there is high barrier to any resource acquirement. Digital development has literally made changes to their lives, making not only knowledge, but also other resources acquirement much more convenient. Secondly, AI lowered the barrier to creation. As I just said, it can suppress personal characteristics or talents. At the same time, things that required talent and specific characteristics to accomplish seem less difficult than they used to be. It means ordinary people can do these things as well, like writing a novel or composing a piece of music. Adorno had talked about this problem with pop music centuries ago, right? Now the situation might be even worse. As long as you have a single chord, you put it into a composing AI software, and it will soon make a whole piece of music for you. It broke the cause and effect relationship, where you must be talented to produce and create. With today's technology, you don't need to create things yourself. You might just have a very simple idea, and AI will help make it realize. The third point is that AI can reduce human error. As we just said, China has many factories, and many workers assemble components or operate large machines, and these processes are actually very dangerous. With those machines, you can easily cut your hand or radiate it in some occasions. Of course, it affected many workers' jobs, but workers' personal safety is much better protected, and it will indirectly promote industrial upgrading. And we talk back to the replacement of mass-produced clothes and shoes from handmade ones. People get nostalgic for the era of handcrafting because it has a human touch. Each of them is special, just for you. Maybe it would spend a month making a pair of shoes, making a last based on your foot shape, modifying it to your special needs. I should point out that for most people in the world, this kind of customization is a huge luxury, something they'll never have the chance to experience or enjoy in their lifetime. When technology has developed to the point where we can do mass production for 90% of the world's population, this means more affordable productions. Even if they were beautifully handmade before, most people simply couldn't afford them. And that's why the development of AI and technology is such a good fit and support for China, and why it helps China so much. We're still a developing country. You might see many Chinese people in your countries dressed luxuriously, carrying an LV or Gucci bag. But what you don't see is that China still has many people at lower class. We have an official statistical data. There are more than 500 million of Chinese people earning less than 1,000 yuan a month. We've just reached the point where no one has to worry about insufficient food, but our average quality of life is still quite low generally. The development of the digital and AI allows more lower-class people to be seen, to get what they need to survive more easily and to improve their living standard. From this aspect, we are different from other developed countries. If you're living in a place where everyone's basic needs are met, people will naturally pursue more spiritual things, right? For example, interaction with different people or learning about the different facets of the world. Be conscious of the small, beautiful things in life. Most people in China don't have the economic base that allows them to enjoy the things that come with a qualified life. We've worked so hard for so long just to make sure everyone has enough food to eat. So for everyone to be seen and to have access to resources is a very, very important thing for us. In addition, from about 2015 until this year, I've actually seen the state has been doing a lot of work in cultural development. Maybe it is because people have felt the suppression of culture and humanity. For example, developing entertainment industries like comedy or stand-up show, the sorts of products which enrich people's spiritual lives. On the one hand, there's a market demand for this, and on the other hand, the state is also intentionally promoting it in order to give us a better quality of life. We just met our basic needs and start to pursue further. As a newly developing country, digital technology helped us lay the groundwork. Once you have this foundation, what you choose to build on top of it finally becomes the more important thing. In this situation, I think it really makes you think about what your irreplaceable human spark is. If you're a worker and you have to compete with a machine for a job, you can't win, can you? So what is the thing worth working on in your lifetime? What makes you irreplaceable as a human? At this point, I think humanity is actually the part that's more highlighted, more concerned, and shines brighter. Since technology has replaced many things you used to do yourself, people will focus more on how you differ from machine or code. Finally, I want to propose one more point. If you're living in a developed country, your life is more likely to be quite good. Although, of course, everyone has various worries. But you're already pursuing things like charity work or helping others. Then you should realize that this pursuit is not just a result of your personal humanity shining through or kindness. It's also based on your economic foundation. You don't have to worry about your next meal or whether your house will be blown away by the tornado today, right? So what enables you to live a life like this? Why there are so many people in the world who don't have these chances? In these days, you might feel like global resources are dwindling, like everyone is fighting for them, or how it has become so serious that they need wars to deal with such resource scarcity issues. That is because gaining global resource is a zero-sum game. Don't take your previous or present lifestyle for granted, because it really wasn't. It's about what enabled you to live your previous or current life. And that's the thing everyone should think about. After all, if the step forward of AI and other digital technology is an inevitable trend, you can either use it as a tool to improve something in your daily life, or you may consider it as a transformation that can turn your life upside down. So for you, does it mean dystopia or utopia? Subscribe my channel, leave a message, and let's see what's your opinion.